Even darkness fears you, chosen one. Today, you revealed once again that those who wish to stop you are just hastening their own demise. The shadows sent by Satan seemed to shake you, but they were forced to retreat owing to your divine resistance. While they waited in ambush, you went center stage, beaming with joy in your victory, because you are no ordinary person. You are a traveler whose soul has been blessed and whose fate is predetermined. You move without words, yet with passion. This energy holds the workers of darkness in place. This video is a rallying cry against any entity attempting to suppress you. Remember the light inside you, which has once again fought back the darkness. Today, while others plotted, you prepared the path by praying. And now they are returning. But they're not running from you. They're fleeing the authority you represent. If you are ready, write in the comments, "We are revealing the truth. Your formerly constrained power is no longer limited. This is your time." They feared they would ruin your goal. They tracked your every move, hoping to distract you off the intended path. However, their endeavors have eventually failed. The more they plotted and schemed, the higher you went. You didn't just get through it. You thrived, becoming stronger with every attempt to tear you down. All they can do now is stare in awe as you continue to shine. Their bitterness, the only thing holding them back. This is your moment. Not because you tricked them, but because you were never meant to be stopped. Your success is not just the consequence of your efforts. It is an unstoppable force that cannot be avoided. While they were spending their time with negative thoughts, you were preparing your future. And now they must watch while their own sabotage results in your achievement. They assumed they knew what would destroy you. They spread misinformation about your goals in order to cause doubt in the minds of others around you. Everything they said was a brick in the wall. They sought to build on your success, but it only weakened their foundation. They turned friends into enemies, created suspicion, and waited for your downfall. They expected their whispers to break your spirit, yet they just fanned your fire. They didn't comprehend your power was never theirs to take. Each attempt to break you down reinforced your resolve. The sabotage was not the conclusion of your story. It was a spark that propelled you forward. They didn't perceive the true power inside you. You were not bound by their plans or calculations. They were never in control of your destiny. Every impediment they placed in your road became just another step closer to your ultimate accomplishment. They thought they'd examined every step, but they underestimated the force that pushes you. Your objective was never in their hands. And now, the universe they tried to deny is working in your favor. The more they tried to restrain you, the more you developed. And today, their efforts pale in contrast to the magnitude of who you are becoming. The regulations they follow could not impede your soul's journey. If you are feeling an abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You may help spread God's blessings by clicking the super symbol. Click the thank you button on YouTube and donate $100 or more. This lovely present will touch not just your life, but the lives of many others. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand plan via this platform, and your generosity will provide fruit for our prayers. Act now. Share your advantages to honor His kingdom. In God's loving hands, you were designed to do much greater things. May God bless you. Every attack they launched, every attempt to bring you down, just made you stronger. It was a phenomenon they couldn't understand. The more poison they injected into your path, the more fuel it provided for your growth. They expected you to fall under their pressure, yet you grew impenetrable. They are frightened, hostile, and resentful. All of this supported your ascent while they strove to push you into the darkness. You became the light that they couldn't escape. Their whispers did not silence you. They just amplified your voice. Each blow against you reinforced your foundation and energized your soul. The universe, in its wisdom, turned their attempts into advantages for you, filling the voids they sought to fill with possibilities that were always meant for you. The journey they intended to sabotage was not a series of little victories. It was the beginning of something far greater, far beyond their reach. Their efforts to injure you ended up boosting your growth in unexpected ways. Each act of sabotage, each attempt to pull you down, just pushed you to higher heights. The more their plots became, the more their schemes failed. They thought they were halting you, but they were really hastening your journey to the astonishing. The more they tried to pull you back, the faster you moved forward. They couldn't see the whole picture. Every connection they attempted to sever, every door they tried to close, just paved the path for something better. Their alliance of doubt began to unravel. When the reality of your power could no longer be ignored, those who opposed you saw through the lies, and the foundations of their narrative began to disintegrate. The more they tried to control, the more they lost it. What was designed to tear you apart instead drew together those who saw your worth as their plot unraveled, as did their grip over the narrative. The same community that tried to poison you now admires your courage and supports you in unexpected ways. The light they intended to extinguish simply grew brighter. They sought to build a case against you by convincing others of your worthlessness. They used every tool at their disposal to undermine the very foundation of your ambitions. They wanted to make you little, to confine you to a location where your light would never shine. But they didn't realize you were bigger than their lies. Your truth was always louder than their whispers. And when they attempted to sway your opinion, you just kept on. You became stronger as they attacked you. Their lies have been revealed, and the truth about who you are is clear. What they didn't realize was that their efforts were not entirely futile. They were the sparks that fueled your unrelenting ascent. Their every move was designed to crush your spirit, throw you off course, and dim your light. They maintained a close watch on you, designing strategies they believed would keep your progress on track. However, in the end, their actions catapulted you to greatness. Their attempts to stymie your growth have just accelerated it, propelling you toward a goal they said you'd never achieve. When they understand that all they tried to do to stop you instead propelled you farther ahead, you've turned their rage into the energy that pushes you. They are forced to face the dreadful truth. Their most powerful efforts to influence your destiny have only reinforced it, and your success is a direct result of their attempts to stop you. They hoped they could isolate you, surround you with doubt and horror, while their attempts to weaken your resolve intensified. They involved others in their plan, hoping to convince the world of your inadequacies. They spread lies and slander, using people as pawns in their effort to undermine your abilities. However, they made a major mistake. Your genius was too tremendous to be hidden. Every story they told, every deception they spread, simply helped to reveal the truth more. Their efforts just raised people's interest about you, and, one by one, those who had previously questioned you began to see through their lies. The more they tried to disparage you, the more your strength became apparent. And now, many who once believed their tale are standing with you, appreciating the undeniable power of your spirit. It's almost comical when you think about it. The intricate web of lies that they worked so hard to weave has completely unraveled. What they thought would bring you down has become the fuel that propels you ahead. The fiction they painstakingly created to isolate you is crumbling under its own weight, and even those closest to them are beginning to question their version of events. What was intended to tear you apart is really bringing you closer to your destiny. And in the midst of their collapse, you emerge victorious, stronger than ever, with the support of your community. Instead of fearing you, they sit in the shadows of their own creation, powerless as they watch you soar to heights they never thought conceivable. They used every trick in the book, every sly maneuver, to slow your development. They didn't realize anything. They were unable to compete with you because they were consumed with global politics. You have been working in the realm of the divine. Every hindrance they placed in your path only created a new route, a new possibility. The causes that drive you are beyond their control, and the more they attempted to limit you, the more you grew. They tried control measures, but they couldn't compete with your energy, vision, and connection to the universe. Your success is more than just a feat, it's a spirit. The powers they possess cannot compete with your success. They couldn't fathom the forces at work inside you. Every attack they delivered grew into something more powerful. It is not just a question of proving them wrong. It is about demonstrating to the world that you can conquer any challenge. What they thought would weaken you has instead made you stronger. Your strength is not derived from usual sources. It comes from something greater than this world, something that protects and elevates you with every step you take. Where they failed you, rose. Where they tried to silence you, you spoke loudly. Where they tried to pull you into the darkness, you become the light. This is not simply about survival. This is alchemy in action, transforming their tragedy into your own creativity. The universe has a funny way of changing the script. Every attempt they made to halt you was not a failure, but rather a catalyst for your transformation while they plotted your demise. The universe was preparing the conditions for your ascent. The same things they used to pull you down were the energy that carried you ahead. They had no idea that the more they tried to lock you in a box, the easier it was for you to get out. Their sabotage did not mean the end. It was just the beginning of a far larger plan, one that is developing in ways they cannot anticipate. With every effort they made to destroy you, you have created something much more remarkable. The same hostility they expressed became the driving force for your triumph. They really underestimated you. They believed their distortions would isolate you and destroy your foundation. But what they didn't realize was that each attack on you just increased your determination. With every attempt to push you down, the universe intervened and hauled you up. Every door they shut in your face opened up new opportunities. Every friend they turned against you paved way for others who really see you and will support you as you rise. They thought they could control your tale, but instead they multiplied it, revealing your truth and power to those who now support you. You were never meant to fit into their plot. Your experience was always going to be larger than anyone could imagine. Their attempts to disparage you and create doubt on your path were little shadows in compared to the immense light you carry. They misunderstood the powers that rule you and the magic that flows through your veins. Despite their best efforts to shut down every access, they are powerless to stop what has already started. They just prepared the path for something far grander. They must now be alert. Their time has passed, but your ascent has only just begun. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a basic reality. Our existence is founded on God's divine purpose and is not influenced by earthly concerns. According to the Bible, whatever done with faith will be repaid to God with tremendous blessings. Luke, like a big oak tree, our roots are deeply buried in God's universe or reality. His might protects every step and posture we take. You now have the opportunity to be a part of that gift. When you use the super thank you button and give $100, you will get a 100-fold return on your investment. They felt they could write the story, influence it, and select the ending. They were certain that your route would lead to tragedy. Every technique and scheme was designed to drag you down, to make you stumble. Instead, they've unintentionally aided your ascent. Their efforts to stop you did not destroy you. They were the spark that propelled your ascent. The more they tried to keep you stuck in their version of reality, the more you escaped, soaring higher, faster, and farther than they could have dreamed. When their plan fails, they are forced to face the dreadful truth. You have become exactly what they tried to prevent: unstoppable, unyielding, and bound for success. The success they said would be your undoing is now their biggest nightmare. They felt that their words and actions would shatter your soul. They established an illusion of control by telling themselves that they had the power to decide your fate. But the moment they underestimated you, they sealed their doom. Everything they said was intended to offend you. Every underhanded method they used to hinder your development just fueled your drive. They are now left to watch as you break away from their confinement. They emerged not just unscathed, but stronger than they had ever imagined. You've altered the carefully crafted fiction, and now they must face the truth. Your victory was always meant to happen. No amount of sabotage could slow your inevitable rise. What they didn't comprehend was that their attempts to tear you down instead increased your power. Their words were meant to break you, but they instead helped to strengthen you. Every effort to alienate and distance you from your goals drew you closer to your purpose. They sought to control the narrative in order to portray you as inferior. But they couldn't see the force that was pulling you, one that couldn't be swayed by their lies or machinations. They pushed, accelerated, and attempted to contain you inside their boundaries. You broke through them, and now, with each attempt to weaken you, you have grown stronger. The more they tried to pull you back, the more you grew. Every hindrance they placed in your way has only led you to this point of clear achievement. They thought they could break you. They felt they could degrade you by their schemes, words, and purposeful actions. They did not realize, however, that their attacks were not the conclusion of your narrative. They provided the drive for your ascent. The power you presently wield was forged in the heat of their wrath. Every lie they told, every fiction they created, just revealed the truth about who you really are. They underestimated your strength, dedication, and the power that flows through you. They now watch helplessly as you continue to rise, unable to halt the momentum they unintentionally generated. Their failure arises directly from their belief that they could control what they didn't understand. The more they fought to hold you down, the higher you climbed. They assumed they had the upper hand, and that their machinations would mark the end of your story. But now they see how wrong they were. Every effort they took to derail you moved you closer to your ultimate goal. They tried to erect obstacles, but all they did was prepare you for this moment, when triumph was always yours to claim. The very forces they intended to use to their advantage have sided with you. What they didn't comprehend was that your path was never intended to be stopped. Now, when their ideas fail, they are left perplexed, watching you accomplish grandeur they never dreamed possible. Your advancement is more than just a personal achievement. It is a universal truth that cannot be denied. It takes its own path through deep canyons, much like a massive river. Your spirit is filled with such force that no one can stop whatever technique they devise to subdue you. Every tactic intended to slow you down has just enhanced the flow of your strength, preparing you for a larger surge ahead. Everything they believed would slow you down or steer you in the wrong way has instead served as fuel for your next daring move. They spent long hours calculating and plotting, hoping to shatter your soul just to ignite a fire inside you that burns even hotter. Their plans have dissolved with each attempt, leaving nothing but scattered pieces like dust caught in the wind as your momentum builds. They believed that with each step you made, they would be able to destroy you via complex schemes and deception. They failed to realize that you are much more powerful than their most intricate inventions. Their greatest mistake was assuming they could control something that was always supposed to be free, something that was perpetually beyond their reach. Your strength stems from a deep well of divine purpose, a brilliance undisturbed by the shadows of their false promises. As their hold on the idea of control weakens, they are compelled to observe from the sidelines, in those dark corners. They see your strength grow, your light getting stronger and brighter with each passing day. Their machinations, lies, and attempts at manipulation cannot change the truth about who you are. No matter what they do, nothing can stem the inexorable wave of your victory, an endless wellspring of wealth and divine favor. You can see the issues they provide. Previously, you were not a roadblock on your path. They functioned as stepping stones to your future success. Every unpleasant criticism, every attempt to minimize your value has pushed you to greater heights. It's as if the universe redirected the force they used to draw you down, turning their anger into a gift. Their efforts provided the motivation for your transformation, a powerful demonstration that human intentions are no match for the divine will. In this moment, you are a living example of resilience, a beacon of hope for those who believe that no matter how fierce the opposition, the light inside will always win. Your journey serves as a reminder that actual power is not derived from external affirmation or acceptance by those who want to control you. It springs from an unwavering dedication to a higher purpose, a divine plan planned for you long before any of their plans were conceived. Your ability to rise above the din, to utilize the trials of those who want you to fail as stepping stones to your success, is nothing short of miraculous. It is a victorious tale that resonates across history, a story of a soul that refuses to be limited by the limits imposed by others. Instead, you embrace the hardships, learning from each failure and transforming every setback into a source of strength and determination. As you advance, remember that your success is determined not by the opinions of those who want to hold you back, but by the fulfillment of your own divine potential. The universe has a way of rewarding those that stay true to themselves and let their inner light shine through despite the darkness around them. Every time they attempt to dim your brightness, the universe responds by magnifying it even more. Your path is lit by a force greater than any human design, a power as timeless and consistent as the stars in the sky. So keep your head up and your gaze focused on the horizon. Accept the power that comes from recognizing who you really are, a person with strong conviction who is motivated by a larger purpose. Every challenge and obstacle you overcome merely prepares you for the greater delights that lie ahead. And, although they continue to cast their fleeting shadows, you are bathed in the dazzling light of truth and destiny. It is time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. With a $100 donation or more, you may assist him carry out his plan and be a part of this wonderful mission. Every donation represents God's kindness, and I believe it will come back to you in ways much beyond your expectations. Remember that His protection and blessing are there in every step and contribution. You become a part of His divine plan. You are a tremendous and brilliant thing, as solid as His massive rock. Witness God's miracles. Harvest the fruits of your compassion in your soul, and light up the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord guide you. Their once powerful attempts at control are now nothing more than echoes of the past, with no influence on your future. Your fortune flows like a mighty river, unstoppable, ever-changing. It carries with it the promise of new beginnings and the assurance that nothing can stop you from moving forward. The momentum you've generated is not a temporary force. It displays the power of faith, endurance, and the everlasting spark inside you that no one can put out. In the end, all that matters is that you continue to grow, driven by the challenges they set before you. Their goals have become the wind behind your wings, propelling you onward toward the many blessings that are your birthright. And as you go onward, allow each step to serve as a declaration that you are defined by your limitless potential, not their constraints. A potential that, like the slow but steady flow of a river, will always find its way to the ocean of divine destiny. They believe that their falsehoods would be your prison, your doubts, your chains. They did not recognize the strength of your foundation. However, every word they said, every inquiry they asked, just fueled your drive. Their attempts to persuade individuals around you have only increased support for your cause. Their efforts to separate you have just pushed you closer to the truth. Now, when their lies disintegrate, they must face the reality. Their hostility has only served to fuel your achievement. The universe has ensured that every attempt to hurt you has only accelerated your advancement. They are now stuck in a world where their authority has no value, and your path has already been paved with the advantages they sought to avoid. You've become everything they feared. Their rage, deception, and plots. They've all contributed to the current energy that pushes you. They no longer have control over the outcome. Their intentions were never within your control. And now they must acknowledge their inability to affect something that has always been beyond their control. Your rise was not simply inevitable. It was the product of much greater forces than they could ever muster. What they fought to prevent is precisely what is meant to be. And as their energy diminishes, you continue to ascend. Their failures are your achievements, and nothing they can do can derail the momentum you've established.